You're listening to the TF Motorsports official podcast, all things monster trucks. Welcome to a brand new episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Frosco, as we're just about to get to our next part of the month, and we already have some news to go over, and this being the realm of points with Monster Jam. And let's actually start off right off the bat. We got Weston Anderson. Weston Anderson finally did it. He was declared early the series champion of the West Series. And he did it by 308 points over Devin Winfield. Yeah, at some point they were going to have to do it early. Out of all the drivers, he was just ahead too far. And next year, if he's put in arenas or stadiums, they got to give him some bit of competition. So now it's Blake Ranger and Weston Anderson, both in the Monster Jam World Finals as of right now. Meanwhile, the remaining 20 or so drivers are soon going to be revealed within the next couple months. And then eventually we'll get the 12 drivers for the last chance qualifier. And that's kind of all the news that we really got. Unfortunately, today, the news is very, very slim. Not a lot, really. So, yeah. So we're kind of stuck with what we got here. Let's actually go into Let's go into our fan question here. There's actually one fan question. This being from Gravedigger 2005. Thoughts on Dragon Slayer returning later this year? I heard that it is returning in a indie show. If that's true, then that's pretty cool. Again, another older truck coming back for like maybe a long or short stint, depending on how it is. But yeah, still very cool. All right. Unfortunately, today I'm not feeling the best, so I'm gonna get through it as best I can. I'm going to try to get all the information that I can out to you, but there's a good chance that I might fumble a few things, so bear with me if I do. So for the Arena Series West, they're done. Weston Anderson, the champion, with 1,286 points. Devin Winfield second with 978 points. You could definitely see that gap, 308 points between the two. Then Cody Saucier and Dragon with 974 points. There's also Brianna Mahan, Scooby-Doo, 962 points. Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack, 839 points. Sixth was Ashley Sanford. Megalodon, 756 points. Berto Trevino, Mashamat Rottweiler, 574 points, and Alex Barden, Carson Williams, and Corey Rummel, all with Earthshaker, finishing last, 489 points. So all in all, it was just a Weston Anderson dominated series. So that one, since the series is done, we'll stop covering that series. Even though that they have some dates left, it's now pretty much going to be not for points at all. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of move on and just cover the 4 tours that remain. All right, so Atlanta Motor Speedway happened. The track, unlike the last several years that they've done it, where it was just a straight line course, but in 2 separate directions, they now had it in like a different way. Now they added 2 banking turns to make it spicy, a little bit different. And I did love the racing style, and that was just something really, really cool to see. I loved how unique it was and how it just like popped off. But then with skills, the first night Ryan Anderson did a fantastic job, and then the second night it was first in England, and it was all right. And then we got to freestyle, and Saturday kind of lacked, but Sunday amped it up. So, going into the event, Saturday afternoon featured Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger getting the racing win. He would also bump it up and get a skills win, but freestyle would go to Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, pretty much driving angry, and got him the win. Tristan England, JCB Digatron got the win there. And Sunday afternoon, Ryan Anderson would again get the racing victory, and Tristan England would get the skills win that night. Or afternoon. Again, they surprisingly both were not in the evening. Freestyle, Ryan Anderson would get it just barely over Kayla Blood in Sparkle Smash. Kayla Blood, she got big air. Like, she just sent it after missing out the entire Saturday show because of mechanical issues. Then Bryce Kenny kind of got like the same amount of air as Kayla. And then Ryan, he just went on a tear with the best momentum, best moments, and he got the win easily. And then going in for the West Series points, Tristan's leading over 7 points over Ryan Anderson. So again, it's still very close. Bryce Kenny's third, Adams fourth, Zach Gardner's fifth, rounding off the top 5, Tyler Duke sixth. Mike Pagliarulo is 7th, Colvin Art 8th, Caleb Blood 9th, Jamie Gardner 10th, Nick Pagliarulo is 11th, and Matt is last. Now, going into Foxborough, Massachusetts, after a long, long stretch, they finally got a mud show. I'm surprised it took a long time to actually get a mud show in, but yeah, they actually went ahead, got it down. And it actually was a good show. So racing was a very, very fun one, and it involved a very great final round between Colt Stevens and Thunderoris and Mike. Yeah, sorry again, got something in my throat. Mike Christensen and Vendetta. Very close, but Colt Stevens just got it by a little bit, as they were pretty much like struggling to get to the finish line. Then skills. Barry Musauer and Zombie got it. And then freestyle, he would also get the freestyle victory and the overall event championship, literally bumping him up in points. Barry now is back in the lead, but by 2 points. So, yeah, so him and Tyler, they still got a while to battle out. Cannon Murphy, 3rd. Dalton Weiner, 4th. Armando Castro, 5th. Colt Stevens, 6th. Cynthia Gauthier, 7th. Jim Kohler, 8th. Chris Kohler, 9th. Mike Christensen, 10th. Joe Foley, 11th. And Cameron Crocker, last. Chris Kohler really has dropped significantly. Now he's 9th with 316 points. So that's something really to look at. That it's kind of like an eyebrow raiser. All right, now it's time to go into our next points coverage, and this one, let's see, this one was the East Series going to Wells Fargo Arena, which was 3 shows, and Blake Ranger got the overall on all shows, but how it went down, Saturday afternoon, he would get the racing win and get freestyle, and actually, no, he would sweep Saturday afternoon. Saturday evening, he would get racing and overall, but getting skills and freestyle was MJ Solario and El Toro Loco. Then Sunday afternoon, MJ would get the racing win. Then Kristen Anderson would get the freestyle win, but skills and overall would be Blake Ranger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So now he's in the lead by 125 points over Tony Oaks and Thunderoris. MJ Solario 3rd, Kristen Anderson 4th. Brandon Telechka 5th, Michaela Telechka 6th, Mark Hall 7th, and Kirk Kramer last. So since Blake Ranger's already in the World Finals, I'm guessing whoever's in second place will get it, kind of similar to how the Central, or was it East or West? I forgot what tour it was last year that did it. When Brandon Vincent left. So that means that Tony Oaks is currently the one that might go to the World Finals again. They still have a little bit before they get close to that. And then got the Central Tour at Hampton, the Hampton Coliseum. they had 4 shows. So Triton Robbins, he's just getting really good at getting consistent racing victories. He got 2 out of the 4 on that weekend. So yeah, he would get the racing victory on the Friday evening show. Getting skills would be Terminal Velocity's John Zimmer Jr., freestyle and overall, Jamie Sullivan in the Sparkle Smash. Saturday afternoon would be Triton Robbins again. Then skills would be John Zimmer Jr. Freestyle would be Matt Cody, but overall, Triton Robbins, Crazy Train. Saturday evening would have John Zimmer Jr. and Terminal Velocity get racing, skills, freestyle overall. He would sweep Saturday evening. Meanwhile, Sunday afternoon, Matt Cody would get the racing victory. He would get freestyle and overall, but Jamie Sullivan would get the skills victory that night. Going into the central points, John Zimmer Jr. cranking up on the lead, now 71 points ahead of Matt Cody and Gravedigger. Meanwhile, Jamie Sullivan is third. Fernando Martinez was filled in by Chelsea Van Cleve as well. Or no, Fernando Martinez was there this weekend, never mind. Fernando Martinez fourth. Triton Robbins top 5. John Zimmer 6th. Montana Robbins 7th. And Angelina Knock last. And that is the results from last weekend. Really decent weekend of Monster Jam. And now there is just 2 events, and they're both going to be arenas. So yeah, we're going to be having a off weekend for the Stadium Series. So I'm praying and hoping that next weekend I'll have a decent amount of news to cover, because yeah, there's going to be quite a lot to really look at. So even then, the West Series is done. I mean, they're still doing their stuff for fun. They're going to Mackin Coliseum, but there's really technically only one tour to watch for points, and that being the East Series, heading to Lincoln at the Pinnacle Bank Arena for 3 shows. So so this technically is somewhat of an off week for Monster Jam and for myself. So I'm debating on whether I should take next week off of the podcast because there might be like lack of news, kind of like this week, but this time with like really no highlights. So I'll think of that and I'll announce it on my Discord. So Lincoln at the Pinnacle Bank Arena, 3 shows, and my predictions for the 3 competitions in the overall. Racing, it's just been so great for Blake Ranger. He's just going to keep on going. The skills challenge is going to be, skills is going to be Tony Oaks and Thunder Roris. But freestyle, I'm actually going to go with someone different. And it's also a one-off appearance for this weekend. Jamie Garner is going to be in the field in Overboard. So yeah, Mark Hall will not be there. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but hopefully everything's okay on his end. And he'll most likely be back the following week. But Jamie Garner, since he is having an off week, he brings his Overboard body with that chassis, and he'll be driving that truck throughout that night. And I think he'll get a freestyle win. And then the overall event championship, it's going to go Blake Ranger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. We gone over the one question. We gone over the results, the predictions. Again, a very, very slow episode of the podcast. If there's no news or anything that happens throughout the week until we get to next Monday, then we will not have an episode of the podcast until the following week because of not enough things to cover for the episode. So yeah, again, very short one, just around 14 minutes. But hopefully next time we'll have a longer episode, and hopefully I feel better by then. So thank you for everyone for tuning into the podcast. Be sure to keep an eye out for more information on Motorsports Hour, and keep your eyes out on more videos to come. See you guys next time.